What's up everyone, I am the Kaiju no Kami, and this is my quickie review for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Really? Do we really always need to say and the Legend of the Ten Rings with this movie every time we talk about it? Can we just not say Shang-Chi since it's the only Shang-Chi movie right now? Just saying. Shang-Chi and the No, I'm not gonna do it. It's just Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is the latest movie in the MCU, and, well, it's a Marvel movie. You know what you're gonna get here. You're gonna be in for a good time, you're gonna have a lot of entertainment, you're gonna have some cool fight scenes, you're gonna have a good story, you're gonna have some build-up for later movies. That's pretty much Shang-Chi in a nutshell. In fact, the one thing that this movie did for me was actually teach me on how Shang-Chi is pronounced. Because I kept saying Shang-Chi for some reason, which now that I hear it as Shang-Chi, makes far more sense given that there's always the long A in the Asian cultures with their names and words and everything. Being that I'm immersed in Japanese culture, I should have already known this, but for some reason I didn't. Anyway, Shang-Chi continues, well, the story that Iron Man 3 left off with the Mandarin? Kind of? Sort of? Interestingly enough, that's about as far as I can say without spoilers. Basically, this warlord from thousands of years ago wanted to conquer the world after he acquired 10 rings that gave him superpowers. And he was doing a pretty good job of it, conquered a lot of places across the world, established his own assassins guild, and then found love, which then produced a son and a daughter, who then went off to do their own thing against his wishes. And now we've got them years later where he goes out to retrieve everyone because he thinks their mother, who is dead, is being imprisoned behind some door and wants to free her. That's the movie in a nutshell without giving much spoilers, although like I said, you pretty much know what the formula is of these Marvel movies, and if you don't, then where have you been for the last, 12, 13 years? Since 2008, I think it was? So yeah, where have you been if you don't know the formula of a Marvel film? All the actors do a really solid job of their characters. They know who their characters are and do them efficiently well. I was a little bit worried about Awkwafina because she seems to be more comedy than being to do action. I do think that she still feels a little uncomfortable with the action side of things, but for the most part, she did a really good job just like everyone else. The actor who plays Shang-Chi, Simu Lee, I think his name is, or Liu, it might be Liu. He looks familiar to me, but I've not seen him in anything from what I looked at on IMDb. He did a good job overall too. I like his character. I like what they did with the character. I don't know anything about Shang-Chi from the comics outside of that he looks like Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat. So I went into this movie with no expectations, not knowing what to expect, and I came out like, oh, okay, cool. This was a good Marvel movie. It was a good martial arts movie. It had some really good camera work going on, especially one battle at the very beginning of the movie between Shang-Chi's mother and father. The choreography was just excellent all around. Then there was a fight later on in Macau that was going on the side of a building that was beautifully shot. We had one scene inside the building that had like purple lighting in the background. Our characters were looking like silhouettes. That was pretty badass. Reminding me of a fight sequence from one of the God of War games when you fought Perseus. We get some moments of interesting mythology and creatures that show up. Creatures from Chinese mythology, which was pretty damn awesome. It's really cool to see some Kirins, some Shishis, and all that good stuff. We get this furry creature thing that has no face and wings. That was kind of weird. I don't know what that is. I know I have a figure of it from one of the figures I bought on clearance. I don't know what that is. I still don't know what it is even after the movie because I still don't understand what the heck it's supposed to be. Now I will say there were a couple scenes of comedy I felt were out of place. Like there's this big intense battle sequence going on, and then that little creature comes along and there's a character that's like pretending to be dead, and then that scene just completely took all the intensity out of the entire battle. It felt out of place. I know sometimes people complain that other Marvel movies have had scenes like that. I never felt it really took the wind out of the scene. Here though, it really did affect the scene, and I don't know why. I was just like, oh, well, that kind of ruined the whole hype of this scene going on. Yeah, okay. Thankfully, the rest of the fight was still really well done, but that scene kind of just like petered out the drama in it. There are, of course, scenes in the middle of the credits and scenes after the credits that build up for future movies. So don't leave the theater, but then again, it's a Marvel movie. You know it by now. I mean, what else can I really say about Shang-Chi that other reviewers haven't already said or what I haven't already said? It's a Marvel movie. You're going to go into it expecting a Marvel movie. You're going to come out with a Marvel movie. If the Marvel movies aren't grasping you at all, there's nothing in this one that's going to blow your mind. You're going to come out like, it's okay. If you're excited for Marvel movies, if you just continue to love the Marvel movies, you're going to continue to love this one. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this one. It might not be one of the best, but it's definitely nowhere near the worst of the MCU. Overall, I'm going to give Shang-Chi a solid 8 out of 10. Let me know, have you seen Shang-Chi? What is your favorite Marvel film? What was your favorite scene from Shang-Chi? Let me know in the comments. Click like, subscribe, the bell notification, whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support me. You can support me on Patreon at Kaiju no Kami, Facebook Kaiju no Kami, Instagram Kaiju no Kami, and my website creativitybydesignllc.com. Until next time, bye.